Hey up!
I heard it that time. That's what it sounds like.
That's what the intro sounds like.
Yeah.
Judd's never heard the intro before. All this time. Not once. No, he's heard it sometimes.
I didn't even know we were doing a podcast.
This is all just like nothing to
Yeah.
We're back again. If you're watching this live at twitch.tv/streamsbadly, which is a place that you can watch the video version of this podcast live, you might be like, what the fuck, you two? What the fuck is wrong with you? This isn't Wednesday. And I didn't even warn anyone on Twitter at tweetsbadly that this was going to be moved to a Saturday instead of a Wednesday. I just didn't bother to warn anyone. Just didn't want to do it.
I can't imagine anybody like getting that upset that you didn't tell anybody, unless there was riots in the street of. Where is it that all our fans are? Seattle. I almost said San Diego.
Oh dear. I like also that right before this podcast, one of the first things I said to Judd was, remember this time to get close to the mic, do proper mic things, and immediately, as soon as we start, Judd goes, and leans right back, all the way away from it, like the lazy bastard he is.
They can hear that. They can hear me from here. That's fine.
Yeah, but the thing is, I'm like on the microphone like a nice podcast boy, like this, and then Judd's all the way back here.
I'm getting comfy. I've got to relax because it's a smooth talk podcast. People listen to this for ASMR. They go to sleep today.
Well, speaking of smooth, Judd, we're drinking, hey, as we always do, and just a little sneak peek for you. Today, instead of drinking Bumbu, because the sponsorship deal hasn't come through yet, we would like a sponsorship from Bumbu. Please sponsor us, Bumbu Rum. It is the best one. That should be their tagline. We should be on the ad where we just go, Bumbu. Yeah, it is the best one.
It's just objectively, this is the best one.
But for now, I've had a new appreciation for Irish whiskey because of a holiday I've been to. Ooh, yeah, more on that later. And we've got Jameson whiskey. That's what we're drinking today. So I'm going to teach Judd how to sample some whiskey. Or at least some Irish whiskey, so I'll pour a little out for us both, because I learned how to do this proper in the actual distillery. So if you want to play along, folks, if you want to play along with your own Jameson whiskey, this is an interactive podcast, actually. So
go reach into your cupboard, grab that special bottle of Jameson whiskey that everybody has at the back of the cupboard.
Yeah, we'll take a sponsorship from Jameson as well. So first things first, Amaryllis, you got to hold it up. Hold it up like this and appreciate the colour. Mine's got a dog hair in it. Yeah, it legit does as well. I did not plan that one. I'm going to take that out of there, actually. Fucking dog. It's stuck. I mean, I'm drinking the dog hair. Cool. So next, you got to tip it at a 45-degree angle like this and then kind of twirl your glass to watch the remains last on the glass. Can you see that, Judd? Can you see how there's it almost sticks to the side of the glass a little bit?
I see it.
See it? That's because it's triple distilled. It's smooth. It doesn't run down like water because it's whiskey. We ain't bitches in this, you know. We ain't got no watered down whiskey. Okay.
Mine's yellow.
Yeah, mine too. So next we sniff the aromas. Just go.
I'm fine.
You swirl it around a bit and you go, sniff it up. Oh, what do you think of that sniff, Judd?
Yes. You
smell all the spices and shit.
I can.
What notes are you sniffing there?
C minor.
It's a chord. I mean, that's close enough. It's a music joke. It's a music joke. Okay, cool.
This
next
podcast fucking sucks.
This is next, Judd. This is the one we do. You take a sip and hold it in your mouth. Swirl it around your mouth a bit.
Okay.
Ready?
Yeah.
And then give it a swallow and let all the flavour wash through your breath around your mouth. What do you think of that?
It tastes how old men spoons smell.
Old men's Weatherspoons.
Yeah.
Well, that's how you're supposed to sample whiskey. I don't know. I learnt that in Ireland on my holiday, which I'll tell you more about later. I'm guessing you're going to want to fill your whiskey up with mixer now, though.
Yes, I would.
That's fine. I would also like to do that. While I'm sorting that out for you, if you want to get the Coke out of the fridge, Judd, and I'll do the pouring and the mixing and stuff. What have you been up to? Because we've had slightly longer between podcast sessions. this time. So hopefully you've actually done something for once in your life.
So I went and bought...
You little cunt.
So I went and bought my nan and granddad a Christmas present today. For my granddad, I got him our favourite Bumble rum.
Did you get him the black edition though?
I didn't get him a black edition.
Yeah, that's fine. I've never had the black edition. I don't know if I'm worthy.
It's really nice. It's the first one I had. I looked for it. I couldn't find it anywhere, and I just saw the normal one. I thought
I think
I'll just
it's
get
on
that.
Amazon for like 30 quid.
It probably is, but I was doing shopping. And I just wanted to grab stuff, so I just grabbed the normal one. I got my nan, however, this. It's like so it's just body wash. It's body wash for like in the shower.
Yeah,
but it's like fluff.
What?
It's like fluff. It's like fluff. It's like fluff that you put on, and it's like body wash, but it's like fluff. It's like cotton candy fluff.
Is this gonna make me nervous?
I don't know. Look it up.
You Google what it is. Do you know what it is? Do you know what it's called?
If you just put shower fluff, it'll come up.
Oh no. I hate the idea of shower fluff. This one time I was dating a girl, and she bought this red bar of soap from, I think, this place as well. Is it Lush, did you say?
No, it's just a little shop. It's like a little home brand place that I got it from.
Well, Lush do this like red bar of soap, and she showed me this bar of soap, like being proud. Oh, what do you think of this nice soap that I got you for Christmas? And I went, no. Yeah, that makes me nervous.
Didn't like it, did you?
Didn't like it. Made me nervous. Yeah. That red rock. I sent Judd a picture of it, and he went, "That rock makes me nervous."
This is it. It's more like this one here. It's more like that one.
Okay, so it looks like icing that you might put on a cake.
Yeah, but it's body wash, and it's more fluffy.
And you got that for
my nana, yeah.
For your nana.
Oh, yeah.
So you've got her something that she will rub on her naked body.
Yes. But what's funnier about this is that I got in the car with my granddad, because my granddad dropped me off in town to do some shopping, and he was like, I didn't tell him what I'd got him, but I was like, oh, do you want to see what I got my nan? And it's just like, it was like, yeah. So I showed him it, and I said it's like this fluff soap, and he started like laughing at me, like really, like he was laughing like loads, and I'm like, what's up with you? I've just got some fluff soap. And she's like, he said to me, message your mum and say that you've got your nan some fluff soap. I was like, well, she might not even know what it is. So he's like, just do it. So I did. I messaged her, I'm like, oh, I got my nan some fluff soap for Christmas. And she sent a load of laughing faces back and then put, you dirty bastard. And then and I thought, what the fuck are you talking about? What are you both talking about? And I said to her, I looked it up because I was like, has she? Because I said, sorry, I said to the woman behind the till, I was like, what is this? What's this shower fluff? What is it? She's like, oh, it's just body wash. It's just like soap that you put on yourself. And I was thinking, has she just fucking lied to me? And this is stuff that like you rub on your pussy to stop it from stinking. It's like, listen, if you're an old woman and your pussy stinks, rub this on your pussy and it won't stink no more. And I'm like, fuck.
That won't stink no more.
Yeah, so I looked it up and it's like, oh, soap that you can use all over your body. So I went to Grand, I'm like, what the fuck are you all talking about? And it's like, oh, back in the day, we used to call like muffs fluff.
Oh.
So I'm like, what the fuck? I've never heard it called a fluff before.
Yeah, I've not heard that.
But they got a kick out of that. They loved that apparently I'd brought my nan some fluff soap. So.
Oh, right. So you didn't call it shower fluff then? You said fluff.
No, I got in the car and I said, I got him some fluff soap.
Okay.
And he's like, oh, I'm like... I'm surprised my granddad didn't just look at me and go, well, thanks.
Well, good, you need some of that, actually.
The stenches have been keeping me up for weeks.
Oh, God, you're poor Nanan. It's a good job she don't listen to this shit.
She doesn't.
That's what I thought about my mum until we started talking about her using a shiwi and pissing through a cone, and then she started listening to it.
My nan doesn't know how to use a computer. She'd never listen to this.
Oh, God. Well, that's fair enough. That's tickled me, actually. In fact, will you just real quick tickle me for real? Just so I can...
I didn't like
still
that.
Not ticklish.
I don't want to do that.
Okay. So what we're going to do is, a lot of people use Spotify, okay? And I think a fair amount of people use Spotify to listen to our podcast if they do listen to it. I'm not going to pull the statistics of that now because I can't be asked. But what I will do is pull up our podcast Spotify Wrapped, because people get a Spotify Wrapped. If you don't know what this is, it's essentially a bit of it's almost like a fancy presentation that Spotify does for you based on what music you've listened to on Spotify and things like that. But if you're a creator on Spotify, you get your own Wrapped that's about the audiences that have listened to your content. So whether that's music or podcasts, you get an individual one. So I actually got one for the music I've put out. It's got barely fuck all on it because I don't really put any music on there anymore. But I thought we could react to our Spotify Wrapped. Have you got yours up now? Is that what you were doing?
I've got my Spotify Wrapped up now.
Do you want to go through it? You can read, if you read out, you can just read out yours real quick, and then I'll see if I can get mine up. But then we've also got the one for this podcast, which I thought might be worth looking at.
I only took some screenshots because I don't want to sit through the whole thing, but the reason why I'll just quickly run through mine is because I actually had 2 Spotify Wrapped this year. Because I started off the year with my one I use through Facebook, like my account, my Facebook account, Spotify. And then when that sort of its subscription ran out, I went to put a new subscription on it, and for some reason, whenever I was just trying to log through my Facebook was just going, nope, we're not letting Spotify have access to it. And it's like, right, but you've done it this whole time, and it's like, nope, we're not doing it. So I was just like, right, well, fuck it. So I just made a new account through my Gmail, and that was more. Yeah,
I'm gonna have to do that as well.
I think mine was it was like October time that I did that. So this one is for the start of the year. Apparently, the start of the year, my top song was "Old Yellow Bricks" by Arctic Monkeys.
That does not fit you. I don't know. That doesn't feel are you? What really? Do you think you listen to that a lot?
I did this year apparently. So my top 5 songs this year were "Old Yellow Bricks" by Arctic Monkeys, followed by "Little Dark Age" by MGMT. Then "Remembering Sunday" by All Time Low. That's one I know.
That's the only one I know and would probably like.
Well, no, Video Killed the Radio Star. Sure.
Oh, is that just the video?
Yeah. Now the reason that is because I listen to a lot of music when I'm trying to get D&D ideas. Right. And the next one has got a lot of 80s aesthetic to it, so I've been listening to a lot of 80s.
I can see I'm going to end up having to do some 80s aesthetic graphic design for your bullshit that you don't even invite me to.
Yeah. Apparently number 5 was "Wire" by Worthy Kids, which is just a little minute-and-a-half thing, which, again, I remember listening to it because it had... I can't even remember what it's inspired, but it was inspiring something for D&D, so I listened to that a lot. My top genres were number 1, alternative metal.
See, this is better. This is what I expect from you more.
Number 2 was classic rock. Number 3 was emo. Number 4 was synthwave, and number 5 was video game music. And I'll give you one guess as to why it was video game music.
That's definitely Deltarune.
Yeah,
I was surprised that might not be on there more. I'll get into it when I open mine up. But you got any more interesting tidbits from yours, or?
Apparently, I spent. That's
1,189 minutes. That's nothing compared to mine.
Listening to "Shut Me Up" by Mindless Self-Indulgence, which actually at the start of the year was perfectly fine, but now that's not a good thing because it turned out that the lead singer was a bit of a nonce. So that's quite a bit tainted, that one.
Oh.
But my top artists on my old account were Mindless Self-Indulgence, then followed by Coheed and Cambria, then Girl in Red, then Fall Out Boy, and then 5th Arctic Monkeys.
It's weird hearing you say what music you've listened to, because I don't feel like music is a big thing in your life at all. I don't feel like it is.
It is a lot more than you think, actually. I listen to music all the time. I get a lot of ideas from music.
It does make sense that it would be, but I don't know. It doesn't feel right for you to be really into music, to me. I don't know why. Maybe that's because I never listened to music. I've never been to a concert with you or anything like that. So I don't know. So any more interesting ones?
Well, now we're going on to my second account.
Right,
so this is towards the end of the year. Now, I didn't take as many screenshots with this one, but this is what I was saying when I was saying that my this is embarrassing.
Right.
My number 1 song was "Be Nice to Me" by Blady, which is a really, really shit sort of I almost want to say like SoundCloud-esque song.
Oh,
and
I can beat that for embarrassing though. I can beat that for embarrassing.
For me, that's really embarrassing, and it's just because it's so trashy and SoundCloudy. But sometimes I like really trashy shit. Yeah. Like sometimes I'll listen to XXX Tentacion or
Lil Peep.
No,
hate. It's not for me. That. Not at all.
I know, I completely understand it shouldn't be for anybody.
It's just like how I was telling you about a comic I was just reading.
Yeah.
And it's one of them that's wacky, and they save the day by turning the baddies into babies, basically. And it's a Spider-Man comic. It's not like a weird comic by any means.
Yeah.
And Judge said, you just said, I hate comics, basically. I went, yeah. I get it.
It's fine with things like that. You have to just sort of go, yeah, it's fine. I understand.
It's one of them where I kind of think I probably shouldn't like them either.
Yeah. But anyway, my top genres on this account was number 1 was alternative metal again.
Yeah.
Number 2 was glitchcore. I didn't know what the fuck glitchcore was.
You know, because of the way it presents it and the way the text looks and the way you angled your phone, I thought it said Catholic. I thought you'd been listening to Catholic music. I don't know.
Number 3 is alternative hip hop. Number 4 is Broadway, and number 5 is Danish rock.
Fucking hell! Yours is like mine's more normie than yours.
Yeah. My favourite podcast wasn't Podcast Badly. It was Adeptus Ridiculous, which is essentially it's a podcast where one guy explains to another guy random shit that happened in Warhammer 40k.
Well, look, if anyone's favourite podcast on their Spotify Wrapped was Podcast Badly, tweet at Tweets Badly within a week of this podcast being published, and I'll send you $10 on PayPal. And that's an actual promise I will do.
That's fair.
But because I'm so confident that it wasn't anyone's, that's the whole point.
It might be yours.
It's not. It's definitely not.
Lastly, my top artist on this account was number 1 was Bo Burnham.
I mean, I get that. Inside was so good. I wouldn't listen to that music, actually, personally, to be honest. A lot of it was the same, but the way it's presented in his show is amazing.
I listened to that album quite a lot. Number 2 was Gorillaz. Number 3 was Rammstein. Number 4 was Blady, who I'm surprised is even up there, because it was just that one song that I listened to. And number 5 was, are you ready for this? 100 Gex.
Wow! Nice. Congrats, 100 Gex. That's their biggest accolade, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
Mine's got some dodgy ones on it just because of some weird nature of how I listen to music. But let's go through it. I've got my Spotify Wrapped up here. 2021 Wrapped. Here we go. In 2021... you did what you had to, so I listened to... I spent 19,729 minutes listening. God. That's more than 75% of listeners in the UK. I had one song on repeat. It was Don't Play by Anne-Marie Casey and Digital Farm Animals. Do you know that? Don't play games in my heart. Ooh, that one.
No, I don't know it.
Really? It's massive. Big song. That
wasn't your intro song, was it, when you came out?
No, that was Don't Let Me Fall. No, that's B.O.B., one of his obscure albums on it. What is it? Down Like That. There we go. Ghost Stand saying alternative boy. This one, that's you. You are a bit of an alternative boy. And I expected more of that from you, alternative, to be honest. And then what we got next? Wasn't the only song on rotation. So my top songs were Don't Play by Anne-Marie Casey. And then my number 2 was Sorry by Justin Bieber.
I like that song. I don't think that's embarrassing.
It's a good song.
Was that his first song where people went, oh, Justin's good now, or was it...
It was that album, so it was the songs on that album where I was like, oh, he's done a good album. The first one was, What Do You Mean? That one.
Yeah.
And I did not think Sorry would be second. I did not think that. Okay, I'm not embarrassed by it anymore then. That's good, I'm glad.
Mine's more embarrassing, definitely, I'd say, than that.
I'm actually surprised my third is not my top one. It's Lasting Lover. It's Sigala and James Arthur's the one that sings on it. So, I've been looking for a lasting lover. Save me, cause every single... Heartache, I feel like I'm lost without a trace. Take my heart and run away. It's a banger.
I thought it was that song on Shrek, where they're on the beach, him and Fiona.
No, it's not that one. This is probably the most embarrassing. That my number 4 most played song is one of my own songs called Till the Sun Goes Down. That makes sense when I'll describe it a little more later. And my fifth most played song is Magic in the Hamptons by someone. I don't even know who does that. I just like that song. Next, You Deserve a Playlist. Yeah, I've got a playlist I listened to that quite a bit. That's what we listened to in the car earlier. What is this? What is this bollocks on? Oh, did you see this? On Spotify Wrapped, they gave you an audio aura, which just shows like some colours. It's like...
Yeah, it was some weird shit.
It's some fucking synesthesia bullshit. Who's got fucking synesthesia?
I'm surprised that you didn't see this and go, oh, whoa!
It's not me.
That's what my aura is!
See, the thing is, I don't have... My synesthesia, right, is for letters and numbers, instead, relating to colour. So this doesn't really trip my synesthesia much. I do kind of get it a bit, but this is not the colours I would pick for it. Mine's like white and pink, and that's not the colours I would pick for my audio I've listened to. I'd pick like red and green and blue, I think. Sorry. I know Judd thinks that all that's bullshit.
You guys are lucky. My favourite Spotify song and artist is still Linkin Park. I'm still in that edgy 16-year-old phase as 27-year-old.
I don't know. Did you not hear what Judd had?
I had
100 gecs on his list.
I had 100 gecs as my fifth favourite.
So my genres are fairly basic and quite obvious for me, I think. Number one was dance pop, which is just pop music basically. Okay. Number two is pop punk.
Yeah,
that's my genre basically. Then I've got modern rock. Yeah. Number four is boy band, I suppose, and then UK hip-hop is number 5. That's pretty much just KSI contributing to that. I did listen to some Leeds Fest playlists because I went there this year. I'm not playing Two Truths and a Lie right now on my Spotify Wrapped. What's next? Come on, hurry up. Let's go. One of the Spotify Wrapped is just a blue screen, so I don't know what that's about.
Blue.
Another blue screen. Cool. I'm guessing. Nice. Okay. So there was one podcast that lived in my head rent free. So my top podcast was the Triforce Podcast.
Is that still going?
Yeah.
Wasn't one of the Yogscast people was a nonce, weren't they?
Look, it wasn't confirmed that Shin was a nonce. Apart from all the nonce activity he did, it wasn't even a nonce once.
Okay, apart from him being a massive nonce, he was fine. Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, Triforce. That's it. It's probably better than this one. It's a lot similar to this one. This is pretty much the inspiration for this podcast.
I think
really.
I listened to all the Bodega stuff.
They used to do something called Bodega, which was kind of like a comedy, like sci-fi short story thing, and it was great. And then they stopped doing it at the readout of that at the end of each podcast because he wrote a book, basically a Bodega book, which I've never read and I should probably get. When it comes to podcast listening, you're actually a bit of a pro. My top podcasts were Triforce Podcast were number 1, Ear Biscuits by Rhett and Link was number 2, then 3 is Podcast Badly. It's in the top ones. I do like to listen back to some of these podcasts, and then we've got Views with David Dobrik and Jason Nash, and then number 5 is Simon's Peculiar Portions, which is again another Yogscast one. And I think they only restarted doing that towards the end of the year. If it was all year, that'd probably be number 2, to be honest. So that's that. What else we got? 754 artists. My top artist was KSI. I was in the top 1% of their listeners. It's mostly because he was banging music this year. He just put loads out. So top 5 artists. Yeah, this is where it looks a bit embarrassing, but I'll explain. So my top artist was KSI. My second top artist was me. Well, it's not me, it's the band I was in and the album. But basically, the reason that is, after every podcast, we do a bit of other shit afterwards. Yeah. And the only music we've got licensed for is my own music, so I put that on. I just put that album on. And then that's why my number 5 is Stream Beats by Harris Heller, because once my album stopped playing, I put on some more royalty-free music that we can listen to. Number 3 is AJR, and number 4 is Waterparks. Waterparks is amazing. They're fantastic. Look, I think that's about it for our personal Spotify Wrapped. Let's look at this is going to be a long podcast, by the way. Stay tuned. There's going to be a lot in this podcast. We're going to look at this podcast's Spotify Wrapped. So let's get into that. I've not seen this. I've saved my reaction to look at it with you. So here we go. I
don't even know how this works.
So this gives us information about the audience. So your 2021 Wrapped is here. What we got next? We made it through another wild year together. You should read. I can't read very well.
We made it through another wild year together. Let's take a look back on how you made it great for your fans. I have read it.
Okay.
Podcast Badly, welcome to your 2021 wrap.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Here we go.
Oh, so nice transitions. First things first, Amaryllis. You had a lot of firsts this year.
Okay, cool.
Okay. I killed my first man.
Strangled my first dog.
On January 3rd, you released your first episode of the year, and it was Christmas 2020 is bad. Podcast Badly, episode 64.
Fuck. We've done, we've done quite a few. This is probably our most consistent year, I think, for podcasts. We've been doing it 3 years? Is this our third year doing it? And we've still got no further.
Your show has made some new friends in new places. You got your first streams in Australia.
Nice.
Fucking
nice
down
one.
under.
There we go. I'll fucking take them down under, am I right? You fucking saucy bastards. Next.
You had some impressive growth this year.
We actually did, relatively.
We can't wait to see what you do next. So, we had a 105% increase in listeners.
So our listeners all over doubled slightly.
Yes,
slightly over doubled.
We had a 35% increase on streams. We had a 17% increase in followers and a 15% increase. It just says hours. So.
And that's like listening time. So 35% is the number of streams that's increased. So like when it says amount of listens, it'll have gone from like 3 to 4.
Yeah.
But the amount of time they listen to it is different to that. So yeah, you know what? Not bad.
I mean, there's been an improvement, and there's improvements across the board.
I would have expected like 5% on all of them, if anything. Or maybe 0% on them, but like 105% in listeners? Fuck yeah. I'll take it.
We're twice as better off than we were at the start of the year, so... We're not sure what they play in outer space, but here's how your fans around the globe listen to you. 54% of your fans listen to you between the hours of 11 a.m. and 5 p.m, making it the most popular time. Your podcast is high on their to-do list, apparently.
I think I can probably tell you why.
Yeah.
Because if I ever listen to our podcast, it's normally when I'm taking a nap on my lunch break.
Oh, okay.
Sometime between 11 a.m. and 5 p.m.
Okay.
So I'm probably the 54%.
That's probably right. That's probably right.
Oh, good.
You released 1,136 minutes of content across 18 episodes. Please remember to drink water, it says after that.
I don't know what that means, because I thought it meant we've only ever released 18 episodes this year, but that's not true.
No.
And it says differently later on. I actually did read this and I forgot.
Thank you for sharing your 2021 with us. Same time next year?
Cool. And then, here we go. So we published 41 episodes. But before the end of the year, it'll be more than that. And across 6 countries have listened. I think that's what it means. I don't know if 6 more countries have listened or if it's just 6 countries. And then now listeners has gone up by 250%. So when it said it's gone up by 105, I think that's followers on Spotify. And then listeners is like how many people might have listened to us. So I think I tweeted this out. Do you want to read that out, Judd?
I mostly listen to your guys at your Twitch streams. You have at least one guy in Brazil that watches you.
Big up Brazil! There we go. So I did share this as well. Shout out to Brazil. I've never been to Brazil. Is it worth going? Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Probably not. Nowhere's worth going nowadays, really, is it? No. Let's be honest. Everything's basically burning. So everything's basically barren, horrid,
on fire.
Wasteland. Speaking of a damaged, burning, awful country, Judd, I went to Ireland recently.
Nice.
Good segue. No, sorry, Ireland. We love you. You're very depressing, though.
I think that's why I like it in Ireland.
Look, I went on holiday to Ireland. I literally got back earlier today, but the podcast goes on, and I'm going to tell you all about my holiday to Ireland. We'll probably have a break of holiday talk to do with Ireland, halfway through it. But I'm going to walk you through all the shit I've done. Okay, so we flew in a plane to Ireland.
Oh my god!
Yeah, we had to have a COVID test. Even though everyone who went was double vaccinated, we have to have a COVID test to get into Ireland. We didn't have to have one to get back. of worrying that actually. But we had to have one to go there, and the flight it's shocking really, because we're used to things like trains and shit in our country being awful and not really working very well. So from where we live to Leeds, not including your bus, it takes longer to get on a train and arrive in Leeds at your job than it takes to fly from Leeds to Dublin. Which is insane, isn't it?
Yeah.
Really. It took about 40 minutes, so that was cool. We got there that day, and we looked round the Guinness storehouse. So it's technically not the Guinness factory, but I think it used to be the main factory.
How much was a ticket to Ireland?
A ticket to Ireland, plane?
Yeah.
130 maybe?
Okay.
To fly.
Yeah.
And then to stay there, it was about 150 for 5 nights, I think. So
okay.
It was cheap, actually. It was quite cheap. Bear in mind, we're coming from the UK, we're coming from England, so it makes it a little bit easier, even though technically Ireland's in Europe. I had to use euros at the time, which felt weird, actually, because it looked exactly like an English sort of place.
Yeah.
Like, their architecture and stuff is pretty much exactly the same, but we were technically in Europe, which was a bit weird. But yeah, we got there and went to the Guinness kind of factory. It was quite cool. I sent you a bunch of weird pictures from it with no context.
Yeah.
What do you think of that?
I found it out pretty quick because one of the things you sent me was a fish on a bicycle, and I was interested in the fish.
The fish is good.
The fish was cool. So
it was moving as well. It was like a full animatronic, like big human-sized fish.
I actually thought for some reason you were in the Barnsley Museum. You know, there's a little thing up.
Yeah.
And so I typed it in. I typed in fish on bicycle Barnsley, and then it came up with the picture of the fish. But when I clicked on the picture, it was like, Guinness factory in Ireland. So I was like, okay.
I sent you a picture of like this massive ostrich with its head in the floor.
Yeah.
What else? I'm looking at the pictures now. A seal, just a seal's head. There was a kangaroo half in the wall. You've got as much context for each of these as I had as well, by the way.
Oh, nice, yeah.
I think they were to do with the adverts.
It's some sort of marketing thing, isn't it?
There was a man, weird-shaped man there. Statue of one.
A statue of what? Not an actual real-life weird-shaped man.
Yeah,
Jake's not just...
There was also a weird-shaped man as well.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. There was a tortoise. And the tortoise, that looks fun. Then the fish on the bike. We're watching the video right now. I like the fish on the bike.
It's just an animatronic fish on a bike, but I do feel like that's something that Dad and Natalie would have in like their living room.
It is. Our dad would totally have this animatronic fish on a bike in his living room. He has some weird shit. It was decent. It was good. We learnt quite a bit about like the brewing process and all that crap. The best bit was that they had like this sniffing experience. So you went into a white room and this fella told you about a lot of the like components of the sniff and the taste of Guinness.
Okay.
And they had these like plinths.
You weren't just doing like racks and racks of cocaine then, because when you said there was a sniffing test, I was like, what the
Oh, that's why you're the funny one, Jim. And we had to snort all this cocaine. No, we had to sniff these plinths. That sounds worse.
Right, everybody close your eyes and you're all going to take a turn sniffing my plinth.
There was white smoke coming out of them all as well.
All right, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, so you had to smell them, and like one smelled like coffee-ish, one smelled like a bit like butterscotch, one smelled like kind of hops, and you had to you got the individual sniffs of it. That was kind of cool, kind of liked that. Then we went into this like other fancy room, and the bloke kind of went, we would normally let you taste a little bit in here and talk to you about the taste of it, but we're not doing that now. And it was like, oh, fuck you. Yeah, you could do that. Because something we noticed about Ireland is their COVID restrictions are heavier than ours. They've probably got less worries about COVID than England and Scotland have currently. But they're stricter than us. Like
it's probably because they have to follow the European Union's guidelines, and obviously because they usually encompass like bigger countries, like with more like human traffic. They're like really strict.
More human trafficking?
Yeah, human trafficking, you know, selling children.
I'm
here, they can hear me talking about selling children, for fuck.
No, I'm not sure, because a lot of the impression I got of Ireland is they're kind of miserable sods now.
Yeah.
And
what now?
Yeah. Because, you know, if you think about the stereotype of Ireland, it's a lot of like fast twiddly folk music, and they're all pissed and having a big bar fight and having a big rowdy bit of fun.
I did think of stereotypical Ireland then, and the first thing that came into my mind was a man going, "Hi diddly da 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 da."
Yeah, exactly. But it was really not like that, barely at all. Yeah. And I don't know if it's just Dublin. Like we were only in Dublin, but yeah. The COVID restrictions were a lot for what's happening, as in you need to be double vaccinated to do like anything.
Yeah.
Which in our country would be an uproar. And it's already been starting to change in that way a little bit, and people are pissed. So in our country, people would not have that. And imagine doing that in America as well. Imagine saying you have to have 2 COVID vaccines to be allowed to go in anywhere other than a convenience store.
They'd storm a national monument again, probably.
Yeah. I mean, they're probably just doing that this Sunday for fun.
Yeah.
So it's, but like, that's what it was in Ireland. Other than a convenience store, double vaccines everywhere, and they scanned your code, QR code. You had to download your vaccine pass on your phone. You had to show them. And fuck, I was surprised. It didn't matter for us, because we could do it. But like, I don't know, it just surprised me.
Did you find any hot Irish women? Irish girls were.
I didn't. They didn't seem particularly attractive. I wasn't looking.
I usually don't care about girls too much, but there's 2 accents that really do it for me with women, and that's Irish and like Southern, like American Southern.
Yeah.
And
yeah, I would say the same. Actually, I'm trying to think. Scandinavian's pretty cool as well. That's because I'm a big old. I'm like a Viking weeb. So like,
I like Scottish on women as well. As well.
I just think of that one meme of disgusting. Yeah, so like I don't know.
See,
about that one.
I think of this. There's that one lady streamer who's Scottish, whose name I can't remember.
Oh, is it? I think she's actually Irish. That you're thinking of?
Is she? Oh, well, I'm gonna get fucking crucified
Irish
then.
Female streamer. I have not spelled any of that right. Is this someone you're talking about? Yeah. What's her name? What's the fucking Just a Minx?
Just a Minx. Yeah.
I think people just call them Minx. I don't know. Yeah, I agree though. I understand that too. But anyway, so the restriction. But the thing is, it was worse. It was further than that. So you can't buy alcohol in their shops before 10:30 a.m. or after 10 p.m. They'll be open while 12. But you can't buy alcohol outside of those times. And I just thought, okay, why are you doing that though, really? And the other one is, in our stores, a lot of spirits might be behind the counter to stop people stealing them.
Yeah.
But you can see them all and you can choose what you want, and that's what we did earlier, actually, to buy this whiskey.
Yeah.
In Ireland, you're not allowed to look at them.
You can't see the whiskey.
You've got to ask if they've got something. And then they just open the fucking cabinet and go, and have a look anyway. So I don't understand it, but like, I don't know, it's just weird. It feels like they're not allowed to do anything. And like, there's a lot, when we're watching TV, there were loads of fucking depressing as fuck adverts. It's like, if I'm trying to do the Irish accent here, it's going to be bad. If you smoke and then your child will die within 3 minutes.
If you're smoking at all, then your child will die of cancer, and it's all your fault. You'll be taken to the magistrate and be beaten like a dog.
The angels in heaven will not even accept you.
Lucifer himself will drag you down into the fiery pits.
And remember, don't drive over. Sorry, that's Scottish. Don't drive over 15 miles an hour. Because you'll kill 9 children without even seeing them. You know, it's like that. It's like, oh, fucking hell. Nice. You're not allowed to do it. Like, anything. It's like, no. And
you're not even allowed to run over 9 children.
Oh, God. But it seems like such a depressing... It's hard to explain unless you were there, but that's an impression I got of, like, a lot of the, like, kind of restrictions in Ireland. It were just kind of like, fucking hell, all right. But yeah, what else? So we were in the Guinness storehouse. That was pretty cool. We went up to there was like a gravity bar. So this bar right at the top that has a really cool view. I'll show Judd some pictures. And it was one of those. It was really high up. It was a really awesome view, and it was in the Guinness like storehouse. So they just sold Guinness or like Guinness drinks that Guinness makes. So have you had Guinness before? Do you like Guinness?
I don't like it. I've had it before.
Yeah, it's a pile of shit, but what am I looking for? Pictures. So yeah, it was cool. It had a good view, and I'm pretty sure that like a lot of there was a few of us that it was their first time trying Guinness. There was a couple of people there that it was the first time trying Guinness, and yeah, they didn't like it either. I don't really like it very much either.
Where did you go?
I like Guinness, but like not very much.
Yeah,
you know. So I'm showing you a picture of the view. You can get an idea there. So that was kind of cool. It was kind of cool. Yeah. I had a pint of Guinness in the pub while we were waiting for our tour here, and I thought that was a better pint of Guinness, honestly. Yeah. But yeah, Guinness, it's medium at best. That's the review I'd give of Guinness. Anyway, but the storehouse was pretty cool. And then what did we do later that night? We went back to the apartment and watched I'm a Celebrity. Apparently they have it in Ireland, but you're not allowed to vote. So, shit. Can't vote for...
It's just shit Ireland, isn't it?
It kind of is.
From
it's
what
just
I've heard of Ireland, it just sounds wank. It's
like England, but just like a bit more bothersome.
Yeah.
Like, that's kind of... And it's not cheap either. It were really expensive. So, I don't know. And then, speaking of I'm a Celebrity, by the way, have you seen David Ginola?
Have I seen?
He's one of the favourites.
I don't know. He could slap me in the face and I wouldn't fucking know who he was.
He's a footballer. Well, he not a former footballer. He's like in his 60s now. And everyone fancies him basically.
Oh, yeah, all right. Is that how he looks now? That one.
Well, this is him when I'm a Celebrity. I've pulled up a picture of him for you.
That's
the weird thing is, obviously my mum's got a big crush on him, as she would. She's a middle-aged woman.
Yeah.
But would you not say that David Ginola looks suspiciously like our dad? Come on, the nose is a bit different.
The beard. You know what? If I went like that, that's dad.
I mean, cut the nose, then that is definitely like, come on,
yeah.
Like he's got a bit of different.
Like, nothing here.
No, I think so. I
don't see. Like, so for people obviously who are just listening to this, I'm like covering one. If I cover the top half of this guy, he looks like dad. If I cover the bottom half, he doesn't really look like.
He
dad
does. He looks suspiciously like our dad. Let's put it that way. And I think that's fucking weird.
Don't say he looks like dad. I just said I wanted to fuck.
Yeah, that's fucking Freud for you.
Yeah.
But I thought that was a weird one. Anyway, the next day, we went with a couple of my girlfriend's friends, and they wanted to go to Ireland's like a college, Dublin College kind of thing, and see this really old book. I wasn't interested in that.
Right. Okay.
But it was shut anyway because of the storm.
There was a storm.
You know that big storm that was over the island, Judd? Did you notice it? Because I sure fucking didn't. What? This is what I'm saying. Apparently there was a storm that went over Ireland when we were there. But fucking hell, I don't know if it's just because we live in Yorkshire, but I'm telling you, that's like a fucking light breeze where we're from, what it actually affected. Like, they shut all the schools in Dublin, and they shut this college and everything. And I was thinking, my God, they said, we walked up to the door of this like college, and we heard all this tannoy said, sorry, it's shut for the storm. And I looked around and like, what fucking storm? Yeah. They're like, so it was shut for like 2 days, so we couldn't even go there. So we went to the Jameson whiskey distillery instead. That's why we've got some Jameson. Now, let me tell you, Judd, this was the best bit of the trip. Right, okay. It was great. We loved it. It was €25 for the tour, and you got a drink beforehand with that. And then, that's about it. You get the tour as well. And it's kind of like, it's not necessarily a tour of the factory because the factory's moved. It's like a tour of the museum that's where the original factory was.
Yeah.
But the guy who was like taking us round, we didn't get a guy to take us round at Guinness one. You just walked around yourself. I want him to be my granddad. I want him to be my Irish granddad, because he started telling us the story of the history of the like Jameson factory, and I swear to fucking God, he could have been telling me anything. He could have, he could have been reading me out the terms and conditions for some fucking bollocks that I don't care about, and I would have been captivated.
The fitness gram pacer test.
Honestly, I swear to God, he was the most captivating bloke I've ever heard speak. It was amazing, and he told us some really interesting stuff, and we even got a tasting like little experience. So we tasted Irish whiskey, the Jameson one, against Scotch, and then against American bourbon whiskey. And I'm guessing they picked cheap ones of those to compare to, but it made me, Scotch, I hate it. It made me I'll never drink Scotch again. I didn't even like Scotch that much compared to other whiskies anyway.
You were just doing that because your Irish granddad were there and he beat you senseless if you wouldn't have said anything else.
My granddad was Scottish.
I said Irish, but...
Yeah. Oh, you mean the guy who I want to be my granddad?
Yeah.
No, I actually had a Scottish granddad, is what I mean. But, well, he was part Scottish. And I still, I spit on his grave. I wouldn't, the Scotch sucks compared to the other two. But yeah, that was fantastic. I'm trying to speed this along because I could take forever doing this. And then afterwards we looked around the gift shop and I asked the guy who was taking us round about this €6,000 bottle that they'd got in the gift store that you could buy if you wanted to, and if he'd ever tried it. And he hadn't, but he'd tried a €5,000 bottle that was right next to it.
Yeah.
And he was telling us about that, and Lord, I wanted to give him a smooch. He was, honestly, he was just, you'd have loved him.
Yeah.
You'd have loved him. He was like a real life leprechaun. Honestly, it was great.
I would have loved him then, yeah.
The decor in that place was amazing. Again, I'll try and show Judd a picture. I only got brief pictures of most things. Oh, this is a picture of the big tree in the Guinness factory, by the way, Judd.
Ooh,
pretty cool, huh?
That's nice.
And it looked gorgeous, this place. It was amazing. I loved it. They had big chandeliers made of Jameson bottles. Yeah. The bar was done up with, like, decorations and things like that. They made a Christmas tree out of the green Jameson bottles. All of that nonsense. It was good. It was so good. And we had a cocktail there afterwards, and I had one of the Christmas specials. It was hot whiskey and like spiced apple. So like cinnamon and apple and stuff. Oh, beautiful. I don't even like drinks to be hot. And it was great. It was amazing. I loved it. Absolutely loved it. If you're going to do one thing in Dublin, that's the one. That's the one you do. I'm just going to breeze through some of the highlights rather than tell you about everything else. There was a pub we went in called The Keys. It was quite nice. I had hot whiskey and Guinness and shit in there. And that's where we had our Irish stew. So obviously, the main cuisine of Ireland, there's not much food that's particularly Irish apart from Irish stew. I'm telling you, Judd, it was €19 for a start, which is a lot of money for stew. But I didn't know stew could taste that good. It was absolutely glorious. By the end of it, we were all sat there just like, we were all having like prolonged mouth orgasm from this stew. It was great. Absolutely loved it. And then we went downstairs in that bar to where they had Irish folk tunes on. They had like some twiddly diddly dees going off. And we drunk, we were merry, and they did some twiddly dees. Let's see if I can play some of the music.
Yeah,
some of these. Yeah. So this is the fella singing. So yeah, it was great. We were watching football, listening to folk tunes, drinking whiskey and Guinness and everything. It was beautiful. What else did we do? We went to like an Asian restaurant. Actually, there's a lot of Asian restaurants in Dublin that was glorious. Some of the best katsu chicken I've ever tasted. That was amazing. I can't remember what that was called. It was fantastic though. We went to this one pub called The Bank, and it was like medium cheap for Dublin. So what would you say is an average price in pounds for a pint of beer that you'd like probably normally pay?
Like £3, like
£3.
£3, yeah.
An average price of a pint in Dublin was more like £5.60.
Oh god.
Which is shocking for people in Yorkshire, really.
Yeah.
I would say an average pint in England's more like £3.60 to £3.80.
Yeah.
Well, I mean in Yorkshire, sorry, in Yorkshire. But yeah, it was expensive. But so they were about £5.50, £5.60 in this Bank. But fuck me, it was like we were in the fucking Ritz. I'm telling you, I swear to God, it was one of the best like looking pubs I've ever seen. I swear to God, it was like something that like Tories would want to like look at that.
Oh yeah, that's nice. I like
it looks
shit like
absolutely
that, yeah.
Amazing. Let me see if there's any more pictures for Judd to react to. Bear with me. Are you a bear yet? Are you bearing with me? No, that's all I got for you.
Nice.
So, yeah, it was absolutely incredible. We had, most people had beef and Guinness pie. I had, like, a Sunday dinner. We had a couple drinks. It ended up being about £56 for two people, which is a lot, but when you see the place, there was literally like a live pianist serenading you all. You know, it's one of those places. It was decked out in the Christmas decorations. It was amazing. And it still wasn't even one of the best bars we went to. Honestly, it still didn't have the best food, still didn't have the best drinks, still wasn't the favourite pub we went into. Yeah. But it was incredible. We loved it. It was good. So my conclusion of the Dublin trip basically is, I loved my trip.
Yeah.
Did cost a bit more than I liked it to, but I did still love it. Ireland sucks a little bit. Just a little bit. Like, not very much. Yeah. Still fair. I'd still be pretty happy to live there. But, like, I have a little bit of a short list of places I would rather move to than England, because it's, like, going down the shitter. And we've got, like, what was on the list was Ireland was one of them. Australia, New Zealand, Sweden, or any Scandinavia,
he don't want to be
Germany.
He don't want to be Australia right now, though, does he? Because they're even worse with the guidelines.
With the guidelines, but not with how many people's got COVID. It's different.
Yeah.
Get closer. So that's the ones on my shortlist. Ireland is a pretty firm no, actually, at this point. Because it's just like, to me, it's just slightly worse England. So that's the Ireland trip. If you've got any more questions about any of that, tweet at tweetsbadly and let me know about any of that. We've got other stuff coming up, but first of all, I need to get another glass because I need to drink more. So entertain the folks, Judd, and then we'll do some more shit.
Okay, I got a bit of a funny one then, I guess. Okay. So I was at work this week. I have a job. I contribute to society, and on break, I went down to get some food. And then I came back up to my job where I work on this building site. And there's this sort of alleyway that not really an alleyway, but just like a little side road that I walk to get to the food shop and the building site that I work on. And anyway, like, I turned down this little side road and I was walking down it. And just as I turned down this side road, this fucking road cleaner, like this big road sweeping car thing, also turned the corner, like, on the opposite end, and he just started, like, driving towards me, and I was sort of stuck in the middle, and I could kind of see the guy in the driving seat, and I sort of looked at him, and I was like, should I just go backwards? Shall I just, like, wait for you to finish? And I swear to God, this guy in the driving seat was coming towards me in this big road sweeper, and he made no reaction. Like, he was just staring me out as he was slowly driving towards me. And you know that bit on Austin Powers where he's, like, in the middle of that factory, and Austin's, like, in that really slow, like, moving sort of work vehicle going towards him, and Austin's going, "Get out the way! Get out!" And that guy's just stood there going, "Ah!"
or maybe if you want a more modern reference, like when Deadpool runs the guy over with a Zamboni.
Yes. So it was just like that. But anyway, I ended up just going, all right, and just like walking out the way I came in down this side road, and I walked like all the way around this sort of like big office building so I could get to my site. And just as I made it round this office building, he came back out of the fucking street, so I could have just waited.
Oh, right, but, nice. Yeah. There's some right fucking idiots. Yeah. I don't know. I've just given Judd a little taste of... Have you ever had Baileys before, Judd?
I have. It's just... I don't know how my stomach's going to react with mixing the alcohol.
It's still whiskey. The alcohol in Baileys is whiskey.
That might not set me off then. I might be okay.
Have you ever had Baileys before?
Yeah, I like Baileys. It's got some scus on the top of this though.
What's your issue? You've never been bothered about scus. Just a little bit of fluff, Judd. You're fine. So this is salted caramel Baileys. Will you pop that back in there? What are you going to do with that now?
I got most of the scus.
Okay, put that back in the fridge. So we're going to do a taste test of that. I've given Judd a little bit. I tasted it earlier. It's gorgeous. Salted caramel Baileys. This is an Irish drink as well. Sniff of that. What do you think of that?
I like Baileys. I've always really liked Baileys.
Let's have a taste. Judd just shot the whole thing. Yeah, it's a sipping liquor, that one, Judd. It's not. We're not in fucking Zante.
I do like it though.
Think of that. That's amazing, isn't it? That is just supping it all up.
I really like it.
Speaking of alcohol as well, in one of the pubs we were in, the one that had the Irish music on, we were loving life. We were just sat like enjoying this time. I was like, watching the music. I'd just finished my drink. I'd, listened to a bit of music and that, and I went, I could just do with another drink now. And then as soon as I said that, this really small woman approached our table and went, do you want any more drinks? And we were like, we're like, I just summoned her. It was like, honestly, that's a leprechaun. I'm telling you, leprechaun in disguise. I said I wanted a drink, and she appeared out of nowhere. That's real leprechauns, that is. So that was fun. But, right, what else we got? What else we got on here? For next week, I'll warn you now, we should, unless you've got them on Amazon or anything like that, we should look at our Christmas lists. What we want for Christmas. I don't know if you've made any like lists to send to people or anything like that. No. But if not, then make a list of the stuff that you want for Christmas next week, and we'll do that.
The thing is, I don't really want anything. Like, I just
come up with some list.
There's one thing that I'd maybe want, and I just kind of want money at the moment.
Well, we're doing Christmas lists next week, so make one.
Right.
But what I want to do right now is tell you my Christmas policy, my rules around Christmas decorations.
Yeah.
I'm going to get this up now because when I'm a big autismo, as you know.
Yes.
And I like to have policies and shit and clearly defined rules for everything. So I'm going to read these out to you.
For fuck's sake.
I've actually got a policy document, which is what... just exclaiming it right now.
Jesus
so first,
Christ.
The following only applies to the festive period. This means this policy is only valid for the month of December.
Oh my god.
Okay?
Yeah.
So the month of December is when this is... So decorations. This is the only fleshed out bit that I've got at the minute. And I define this with my girlfriend for when we live together. So
I can't believe you've put a fucking terms and conditions on the festive spirit. It's mad. It's
what
mad.
It's all about. Christmassy as fuck, Judd. In fact, do you want me to put it all in red and green or something?
I was just going to say it all needs to be in red and green so it's festive.
In a wacky font.
Yeah.
Oh, no. So, no flashing lights. No lighting
anywhere
can flash.
Right, okay.
At all. Okay? Steady lighting is optimal. Just constant, just always on. Okay? Slow pulsing lighting is acceptable, but should be changed to steady where possible. So if you've got an option between a slow pulse on and off, and just always on, then you leave it always on. Okay?
Okay.
If there's no choice, then slow pulsing is acceptable, but it has to be slow. Okay? Christmas lighting and also Christmas lighting must be yellow or white. No coloured lighting.
What about red and green?
No!
But they're the Christmas colours. Red and green are the Christmas colours.
Exactly.
Right?
So all your shit's red and green already. They needs to be yellow or white. You ain't gonna fucking see as well if it's in a tree, is it? Fucking yellow. Fucking idiot. Yellow or white. That's it. Natural light colours. It needs to be actual lights rather than stupid fucking... I don't want a colour shining at me. He says, well, I've got an RGB strip going
I was just going to fucking say your RGB strip that not only is multiple colours, but it's not just a steady light. It changes.
Yeah, but you see, I need that to move between all different colours that you can display.
Right.
And also, this isn't festive lighting, Judd. It's very different. Anyway. Lighting which is coloured differently must be agreed in an extra meeting and stated in a table below. So... if there's a reason it needs to be a specific colour because it makes sense for a type of decoration, that's possible, if agreed in a separate meeting by all parties who live at the residence. Also, well, particularly no flashing lights is my main issue. External decorations. External lights must be battery-powered or solar-powered, but preferably not exist at all.
Okay.
This is because I don't want to be paying extra fucking electricity bill for lights I ain't gonna fucking see. I go in my house. I don't just stand outside my house and look at it for hours, do I? I sit in my house and experience the joy of my lights. I ain't gonna fucking pay for everyone driving past to experience them, okay?
Yeah.
So, no. And if someone else who lives with me happens to want to, then they have to pay for the lights and the batteries. I ain't paying for it, okay?
Okay.
All other external decorations are acceptable, except when affecting otherwise normal life. So, like a wreath on the door, I'm cool with it. If the wreath's so big that it makes it annoying to try and unlock the door or open it, I'm taking it off.
Okay.
Extra occupant meetings may occur to make exceptions if both parties agree to the external decoration makes an improvement to overall over normal life. So, if that massive wreath does kind of block you from unlocking the door, it's a bit annoying, but it's so funny that we'd rather keep it there, then that's fine.
Okay.
You know, if we both agree that I'm happy for it to impair my normal life because it's so good. Okay. Internal decorations.
I hope you're all still fucking listening at home, because I'm not. I've tuned out.
This is pristine. Judd, it's nearly Christmas. We've got to have some sort of fucking Christmas content. What else are we going to do? If a fireplace is present, stockings are mandatory. You have to have them.
You have to have stockings in a fireplace.
If there's a fireplace, only if there's a fireplace, they're mandatory. At least one per human present. Stockings for animals are optional. I would prefer to put, but not preferable. I don't want a stocking for an animal. Really, but optional. A Christmas tree is mandatory. I have to have a Christmas tree. Stockings are also nice and acceptable if you don't have a fireplace, by the way. Christmas tree must be topped with either an angel or a star, otherwise not topped at all. I don't want any more bullshit. It's an angel or star. Those are the ones that go on top. We used to have a Santa at Dad's, right? Now, don't get me wrong. I got a lot of joy out of that Santa. Yeah. But I don't want no Santas on my tree, okay? It doesn't work for me. Not happening. Okay. Internal lighting must be kept minimal if connected to mains power. Below is a list of rooms which can have an extra set of main-powered lights added to them. So this means, other than the lights that already exist in the room, living room, extra downstairs room / dining room, and media room. Because if we have a media room, I might want them to be Christmassy for stream. Okay. This lighting can be interchangeable. For example, the added lighting in the media room could be moved to the living room and still be valid. Additional battery-powered lights can be added to any room. All internal lighting must be turned off by 1 a.m. Presents. Yeah, you've just seen your name on this, haven't you? So the contents of presents for each resident must not be revealed to any other resident unless another resident is required to make the present in question deliverable. So say there's 4 people living in a house. You can't tell what you're getting for anyone who lives there to anyone else who lives there unless you need to make sure that someone gets the present. Okay. Hope that makes sense. All right. Presents gifted by residents will be consulted, but final decision will be given to Jasmine Stainton, my girlfriend. Okay. She gets final say on what present we get for people because she's got better social skills than me. This regards all matters including costs when the gift is given, who hands it over, and where the gift is given. This only applies to family members with the following exceptions. So basically, this list of people is people we don't buy presents for. Okay. Jordan Tapp. Just you. Yeah. It's just you.
But that is because, and I've said it on other podcasts, me and Jake have an accord where we specifically don't buy presents ever for each other so that the other person doesn't feel contractually obligated to buy a present for the other.
The only time we ever did that was on the 100 podcast special, and that's settled anyway. Yeah. So the it is even as in I saw like this cool hardcover printing of The Killing Joke, which is the only comic I'm aware you like, and it's definitely your favourite comic, as far as I know.
I like the New 52 joke about it's pretty much just those two.
So I thought that'd be a really good present for you. It was a good price and everything, and I made sure I didn't buy it. So, yeah. Okay, heating, who fucking cares? No one cares about that. So that's my Christmas policy. What do you think of that, Jim?
Jesus, wow. I could have done without that.
Did you think my autism stretched that far?
No. No, I didn't.
It does. That pleases me.
To be fair, on on almost like a similar thing, with my autismo with writing stuff, if something happens to advance the story in Warhammer 40,000, I will write essentially what my armies have done revolving that. Yeah. So I'll essentially be like, oh, okay, this happened with the Word Bearers Legion, well, my Word Bearers army were involved in this way, and I'll write a story around it. So I
just for yourself?
Yeah, just for myself. I don't put it anywhere. I'm not like writing fan fiction for people.
Honestly, I'm telling you.
It's just nice to be like, oh, so there was this engagement. My army had this involvement in the engagement, because for me, it engages me more in the story.
That's the thing.
So.
When we get into something and we get stuck in something, we fucking do.
Yeah.
Hence why I won my fight, because like I was into it.
Yeah.
I fucking went for it. So yeah, same with you with that. And this is why I like writing policy. The reason I like this, right? People think this is ridiculous in like relationships especially, but my thing is, you talk about and try and come to an agreement on these things anyway, so just write it down, and then you both know where you both stand, and you've both agreed on it. If you've both agreed on that, then if people start bitching later, you can say, we agreed on this. Come on, we had a discussion and we both agreed on it, and we even wrote down specifically what we agreed on, and we agreed on the wording of it. So stop being a little bitch now. This is what we agreed on about. You know, you can't... If anything, it should cancel out arguments. If someone's starting an argument about that after the fact, then fuck them. Because they've already agreed. If they had a problem with it, they should have said on it and agreed something else, shouldn't they?
It reminds me of Dennis Reynolds from Always Sunny in Philadelphia, where he has women sign legal waivers when they want to engage in like sexual intercourse with him.
Yeah. And the thing is, yeah, I mean, we could probably do with that, actually, to be honest. Well, anyway, so that's my Christmas policies.
Okay.
What else we got? I've done that. I don't think we've got any regular segments today, because
I haven't got any freaks. I haven't.
No freaks. I've not thought of a debate, to be honest. We normally do a debate segment. All I'll say is follow the podcast. You can subscribe on YouTube for the video version, streams by the YouTube channel. Follow on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and all good streaming platforms. Or follow us on Twitch, twitch.tv/streamsbadly, and we also have @tweetsbadly on Twitter. Follow all that junk to keep up with the podcast and streams and stuff, because we have regular segments and a bunch of other crap we'll be talking about in other podcasts. There's more Christmas segments next week, and I've got some other bollocks as well.
I've got a bit of a funny story that's been going on. This has been going on for a while, this. So I play League of Legends. I don't necessarily always enjoy playing League of Legends, but I play League of Legends, and for a while, for probably about 7 or 8 months, somebody else has had access to my account. Somebody else who I don't know.
Ooh,
so
okay.
So now the thing is, I'd sort this out with Riot, but it's off my old email. If you can, I'll not say the full thing, but if you can remember my Juddy Buddy handle that I used to always go by, I had an email that went by a similar handle. I no longer have access to that Gmail.
Yeah.
But that was the account. That was what I used to sign up with League of Legends for, and it started off small at first. Like, I'd noticed people were sending me messages saying stuff like, "Oh, why are you playing ranked on your own?" And I'd be like, I never play ranked on my own. That's weird. What are they talking about?
Oh, yeah. And then, why would anyone play competitive on their own? But I've never sunk 1,000 hours into a game doing just that. I've never even done that. I've never even done that.
Yeah.
Stop accusing me of it.
Okay, I won't. But anyway,
I've never even played Apex Legends.
Right, I get it. So, so I was like, all right, that's weird. And anyway, then a few times I'd be playing the game and it'd come up saying somebody else has logged into your account from a different computer. So essentially somebody else has access to my account. But the thing is, they've never done anything bad. Ever. In fact, the only thing that's ever happened is they got me higher up on ranked, because I was
they just boosted you.
Yeah, I was like bronze on solo queue, and I'm up to silver now, which isn't a huge thing, but they've boosted me. And the thing is, whenever I'm because it never logs you out during a game if somebody else logs in from a different computer. It's only if you're in the menu. So if I'll be in the menu and it'll say that, I'll just log back in, and then that other person will just leave my account alone. So they're never in an inconvenience. They only get my rank up. So it's like, why the fuck would I get them off my account? They're boosting me.
The problem would be if they start spending money on your card, if it's linked.
But they won't, because they don't know the thing. They've never spent any money through my account.
By the sounds of it, if they do, it's probably on something useful. You probably need it.
Yeah. But it's... Yeah, it's weird that I have this other person that shares my account, and he messaged.
She could be a girl.
It could be a girl
or a trans.
Don't
be sexy.
They messaged like everybody in my friends list, essentially saying like follow the Discord to get like free riot points and shit like that, which was a scam. So I was like, okay, if you're scamming people, it's gonna have to. This is gonna have to be sorted out some way. But my mate Jamie was like, oh yeah, I followed it. I went onto his Discord. I'm like, all right, and what are they like? And he went, he's really nice, you know. He's proper sound. And I'm like, fuck him then. Whatever. Let him use my account. It's fine.
Oh, cool. I wish I could have got that to get to Predator rank on Apex. But anyway, whatever. I'm exhausted. We could talk about fucking everything forever. We always could, to be honest.
Yeah.
Apart from those odd ones. Every so often we have a podcast where it's like, oh, I don't know how to talk to people anymore.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's the end of this podcast. If you're watching live, then stick around because we do other shit afterwards. Cool. What are you going to end with, Judd?
If you're out there, a guy who also uses my League account, let's try for gold this season, yeah?
Yeah.
Listen, I'm tired of being called fucking hard stuck in bronze and silver whenever I'm playing games. It pisses me off. Just put your back into it this season, mate. Come on.
Okay, cool. Strangle your dogs. No,
yes,
but not really.
Don't do that.